Why do good people suffer? This is the question every believer asks at some point. Why do people who pray, give charity, avoid sins, and try their best still go through pain, loss, illness, and heartbreak? At first glance, it feels unfair. It feels like something is wrong. But in Islam, the question is not whether suffering exists. The real question is, what does suffering actually mean? Because not every pain is a punishment, and not every ease is a reward. Allah makes this clear in the Qur'an. We will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives, and fruits. But give good news to the patient. So suffering is not random. It is not chaos. It is a system of tests. But here is the real question. Why would Allah test someone who is already good? To understand that, look at the people Allah loved the most, the prophets. No human being was more beloved to Allah than Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yet his life was filled with hardship. He lost his father before he was born, then his mother at a young age. He was rejected by his own people. He was insulted, mocked, and harmed. He buried his children during his lifetime, and he was injured in battles. So if suffering meant Allah dislikes someone, then what would that say about the Prophet, peace be upon him? It would completely break that idea. Then look at Ayub, peace be upon him, a man known for patience. Yet he lost his health, his wealth, and his family. His body became weak for years. Still, he never turned away from Allah. Then look at Yusuf, peace be upon him, a young man chosen by Allah. Yet he was thrown into a well by his own brothers, sold as a slave, then imprisoned for years for something he did not do. So what does this tell us? Suffering is not a sign that Allah has abandoned someone. Sometimes it is a sign that Allah is raising them. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that the most severely tested people are the prophets, then those most like them, then those after them. So the closer someone is to Allah, the more carefully they may be tested. But why? What is the purpose behind all of this? Islam gives us clear answers. First, suffering removes sins. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that no fatigue, no illness, no sadness, not even a thorn that pricks a believer, except that Allah removes some of their sins because of it. Even the smallest pain is not wasted. Second, suffering raises your rank. There are levels in paradise that cannot be reached by deeds alone. Only patience can take you there. Third, suffering brings a person back to Allah. How many people only remember Allah when life becomes heavy? How many people only make real dua when they lose control? Sometimes what feels like breaking is actually returning. Sometimes Allah takes something away, not to punish you, but to wake you up. And sometimes He delays what you want, so that you become the kind of person who can carry it. But there is one mistake people always make. They judge Allah based on their situation. If life is easy, they assume Allah is pleased. If life is hard, they assume Allah is angry. But Islam destroys this logic completely. Because even disbelievers can have easy lives, and even prophets can have extremely hard ones. So ease is not the sign, and hardship is not the sign. The real sign is your response. A believer is patient when tested, grateful when blessed, and consistent in faith even when nothing makes sense. Because they understand something deeper. Allah does not test to break you. Allah tests to build you. So the real question is not, why do good people suffer? The real question is, what is Allah building inside me through this? Because what feels like pain today may be protection tomorrow. What feels like delay may be preparation for something far greater. So instead of asking why life is hard, ask what this hardship is shaping you into. Because in the end, every believer will realize one thing: nothing was wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single moment of patience. Not a single test. Everything had a purpose, even when we could not see it.